Hey guys, my name's Kevin. Welcome back to the Dueling Dads podcast. Today's Sunday, June 28th. Scott, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good actually.
Good.
How's your weekend?
Busy, actually. Went by way too quickly. Here we are again, Sunday night for recording.
When you text me earlier, like, what are we talking about? It's like, oh shit, today's Sunday.
Yeah, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to try and go fishing this afternoon, but we had a rainstorm. So
yes, we did.
I laid on the couch and watched golf.
So be it.
Yeah, I had a lazy day today.
If somebody has to, right?
Well, somebody has to.
Yeah. Now, if God could rest on day 7, so can we.
Right?
Yeah. He took a whole day to rest, but
fishing's not a lot of work, though.
Well, and he did more than we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He deserved a day off. I don't know if we did. What else did you do this weekend?
You and I went fishing yesterday?
Yesterday. I know, it's like, what day is today? Yeah.
Yeah, COVID, today is March 85th or something. I really don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
March 105 or...
What did I do this weekend? Not much.
We did go fishing yesterday.
We went fishing, yeah. I don't know on Friday, though.
We tried to force it because it was a little windy, but...
It was too windy.
Yeah. When you got a little one like I do, you just go when you got time, right?
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Problem. Finding time to fish.
That's right.
I was going to go golfing by myself, just get a single tee time and just smack the ball around, but...
Sure.
That's not free.
No, not unless you own it.
No, they charge that.
Yeah. And I'm assuming you wouldn't want to walk it. I mean, who wants to walk?
I don't get this dancer's body by walking.
Dancer's body, that's... the dad bod.
That's the dad bod. Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah,
right there.
100%.
Yeah. Where it comes from. Excellent. If you haven't had a chance, folks, please go back and look at last week's episode. It was absolutely awesome. We had our very first guest on, Charles Lopez, and man, does he have a story to tell.
Oh, he was amazing, wasn't he?
Yeah, we'll definitely have him back on. Yeah. So if you haven't, pause this video now, go back and check it out. He's got such a story to tell, and a couple of good groups going on in his life. One is called Dads Grieve 2. Dads Grieve 2, and the other website he promoted was wonderdads.com. So definitely worth going to check out if you haven't already. And I think this is pretty important to let our group know here, we have also just started a Facebook group called the Dual Dads Podcast. It's a group. Right now it is public, so feel free to join. You'll also be able to see these videos not only on YouTube, but also on our Facebook group. Keep in touch. It's a good way to contact us if you want to. We also do have an email, dualdads with an S, dualdads podcast024@gmail.com. You're welcome to email us there as well if you want to get a hold of us. Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Google. Google and Facebook. No, we have no affiliate with them at all. It's just the way people tend to...
Everybody uses them.
Yeah. We're also on Spotify. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, welcome. Episode number 5.
I am in the garage and I just got bit by a fucking mosquito.
Oh, there's so many of them right now where we are. With all the rain we're getting.
This rain is insane.
Oh,
I killed the bastard though. I killed him.
Well, you did all of
but
us.
He left his mark.
So if you're randomly scratching, we know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me, I was watching a video the other day, and there's a product on Amazon. Apparently, when you put it right over the mosquito bite or the bee bite, it actually sucks the saliva out of the stinger.
Really?
Yeah, it's like that big. It's like the size. It's like an inch.
Wow.
And you can travel with it. It's crazy. I haven't tried it, but they said that you put it on the mosquito bite, it sucks the saliva out, and the itch is gone right away.
I was at Canadian Tire the other day, and they had this thing called Thermacell, I think it's called. And you put it on your belt loop or your backpack, with her, and it just keeps them away. They got a backpack one, and I got a deck one.
I wonder if it works.
It was they were sold out, so I'm guessing it does.
Yeah, fair enough, right?
Yeah, the sign of a pretty good product is if there isn't any left.
That's yeah, very, very true. So this episode, we are going to talk about kids playing sports. Now, I think it's important if we go through a little bit of our history when it comes to sports, because I think it's played a huge, and it still does play a huge factor in our lives. You want to go into your history first, and then not that much different, but
no. Well, growing up, we were raised by a single mom, so I wanted to play hockey, but we just couldn't afford it.
Right.
So to put 3 kids into sport, we all went into soccer, us 2 and our sister. All you needed back then was a pair of shoes and a pair of socks. Shin pads.
Yeah.
And then we played soccer for years and years. We used to ref soccer.
Yeah, right.
Both of us were provincial referees.
For Alberta.
For Alberta, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then just played it ever since.
Yeah. And right now we're on 2 teams, a men's team and a co-ed team.
Coaching a men's team.
Yeah. Playing.
I coached my daughter's soccer. I tried to coach my daughter's basketball, but that filled up too quick. So, which is rare.
The coaching or the playing?
The coaching.
Really?
Yeah. Because I used to play basketball as well. Yeah, it's rare to find no coaching spots available.
Yeah, well, especially for basketball, because it's not as popular where we are.
No. I wonder if that's why all the coaches filled up, because
that's cool.
Parents have kids at one place, so.
Right. Well, and that's a big thing. If you're going to be there anyway to drop off your kids and watch them, you might as well be on the bench supporting them.
Oh, it's amazing. I don't know everybody's story, but it's amazing how many people just drop the kid off and leave.
It's their break time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sit and watch. I mean, I love watching because my oldest, Katrina, she's so excited when I'm sitting. She'll stay and she'll look over every time. She gets a pass, she makes a shot, and she's just always looking over.
Yep.
Daddy, watching? Dad, did you see that?
Yep.
Yes, I did. Sure. Yeah. Watch the ball.
Keep playing. Don't trust me. I'm watching.
You're going to get hit in the face, and it's going to hurt.
But that just shows a lot of how important it is that parents, and in our case, dads, because it is a dad podcast, how important it is that we are there watching, supporting them.
Oh, it's amazing. No matter where you sit, they'll always find you.
Oh, yeah. Well, and for us, it's not hard because we have a bit of a shine.
Well, it's sheen, really. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a glisten.
Especially if I'm sweating, it
doesn't. Yeah. Like a disco ball.
Land airplanes. Here we go. There we go. Just all the shine. Yeah.
What about you? How's your history?
Yeah. Well, I remember growing up. It was interesting when we were growing up. Like you said, we had a single mom. We were 3 kids, and I remember we tried a couple of different things. I don't know if you remember when we tried trying karate for a while.
Yeah.
You remember that?
But that was in the basement of some building, though, wasn't it?
Well, and the teacher wasn't very good. I believe I want to call him Sensei. I call him the first name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sensei.
I think he was an asshole, though, wasn't he?
A little bit.
We were young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in all fairness, too, all I wanted to do at the time, because this is all I ever did, was watch TV. Right. It was either ride on my bike, or watch TV. And I remember Mom saying at one point, "No, we got to get out and do something else." So we tried karate. Wasn't for us. I might try it again now because I'm in a different mindset. But karate wasn't really our thing. And I remember at one point, it was when I was in grade 6. So I was 11 years old, and she said, "I want you to." I think she even gave us a timeline. She's like, "I want you by the end of this week, you're going to tell me what sport you want to play." And she didn't really give us a choice, and I'm actually really glad that she did, because I wouldn't be who I am today without sports.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no. Just for the social aspect alone.
The social aspect, just the people, just the love for sport.
That's right.
You do grow a love for a sport.
That's right. And
remember, I don't know if you remember, we played t-ball as well.
Oh, that's right too. I forgot about that.
Remember that?
Oh, that was a show. I did.
Right?
Oh, I did not like that.
We were also in a swimming club. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, and we started right in the diving pool.
Yeah, the Thunders, I think we're called. The lightning bolt going down. Didn't make sense. We were the Thorncliffe Thunders, but our logo was a lightning bolt.
That's right. That's right. Lightning makes thunder. Yeah, but I remember because and that's actually where we learned how to swim. In all fairness, it didn't make sense at the time, but that's where I learned how to swim.
Well, I'm glad we took it.
Yeah, me too.
And I got both my girls in swimming lessons right now, and they love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not right now because everything's shut down, but
because of COVID. But
yeah. My kids, they love being in the water.
Yeah, well, and you never know when it's going to come back to help, right? Like we love to fish. If I were to fall in the river, I know what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the simplest thing. So
it's a life-saving tool, right? That's right. You should learn it.
That's right. Enjoying some beer on this one. I like it.
Cheers, dads.
Cheers. I should have brought a drink for me. Here. I got water in a beer stein. In a beer stein. But yeah, as funny as the name was, I think it did us a lot of good to know how to swim, because we went right to the deep end, right to the deep pool. I think it was like 10 feet deep, that pool, 10 or 12 feet. So you learn how to tread water, you learn how to do the overhand swim, that kind of thing. So yeah. I think at one point too, it taught us how to hold our breath for a long period of time, although I haven't been practicing that, so I think I'm up to 30 seconds before I need air.
At most.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny now because the kids want to race me down the lane pools over at Genesis, but then Katrina, she'll get a head start, and then Elizabeth, she'll get a head start, but usually Elizabeth and I are in the same lane. And then I'll let them get about halfway down, and then I'll take off. And then I'll pass them, but then Elizabeth will jump on my back and ride me the rest of the way. But then Katrina gets mad when we beat her.
I have extra weight.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's not like I'm doing this by myself. Oh, that's funny. She's smart for doing that, though.
Oh, she's not dumb.
No, well played.
She knows the most efficient way to do a lot of things.
The least amount of effort possible.
Yeah.
She is your daughter.
She is. She is.
Oh, it's so true. And then I remember, I was grade 6. I was 11 years old. Mom, I think, even gave us a time frame and said, by the end of the week, I want you to choose a sport. And it just so happened that the next day in gym class, we were playing soccer out in the school field. And I just remember I was all over the place, and it just felt so natural. I was playing offense, defense, mid, everything. I didn't know it at the time.
Right.
And I was just in the middle of it, just having fun, kicking the ball around. And I was like, I think I want to give this a shot. So then I went back home and said, I want to play soccer. And everybody else joined, even though I know you wanted to play hockey and everything else. But like you said, it was a little bit too expensive. And even to this day, like I turned 38 in about a month and a bit. And even to this day, we're still playing soccer.
Yeah.
So I don't even think, if I remember correctly, I don't even think we really tried anything else like as a competitive in a league type of sport.
Just T-ball.
Yeah, but I mean after we started soccer. I don't think No, it's all been soccer.
Not until we were older. Then I played a little bit of football, and I played some hockey as well, but
nothing really in a league though, right?
I played league football. I played league basketball.
Oh, did you?
I didn't play league hockey or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I played hockey, just getting together with a bunch of guys and ladies, and I'm not as good on skates as I am on grass. I'll just say that. And yes, I am Canadian. Yeah. Well, here I'll raise your right hand. I, as a Canadian, am not the greatest skater. I can start. It's that pesky stopping.
When was the last time you tried, though?
Well, that's the thing.
Right? It's not like it's like golf. You have to keep doing it, or else you lose it.
Yeah, it's not like riding a bike at all. You have to get your footing.
We took golf lessons out in PEI.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that too. taught us how to chip and everything.
Yeah.
Chip and putt. Yeah.
The only things we had in the bag was a driver, a 7-iron, and a putter. That's all I had in the left-handed bag there.
Learning how to chip with a 7-iron.
Yeah, you learn with no grips.
Oh, right, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, they were definitely renters clubs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Antiques at the time. This was years ago.
Oh, right. Yeah. Man, that was a long time. I totally forgot about that.
Right?
Yeah.
Out in Prince Edward Island.
Yeah. For those who haven't been to PEI, it's closed right now, but when it opens up after COVID, definitely go check out PEI.
It's God's country out there, boys.
Oh, and I mean, I've tried in the past to explain to people what it is, what they can expect, and I don't do it justice.
No, you can't.
No, not until you're there. You see, you smell the air, you feel the water. You can't. You have
talk to the people. Yeah. Talk to people, look at the landscapes. It's just, it's unreal.
Yeah. The red dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for those who are not in Canada listening to this, I just want to clarify that Canada has 3 official languages: English, French, and Maritime.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we are on the west side of Canada, and yes, you may be listening to this saying, man, they have an accent. Believe me when I say, when you head east, there's even more of an accent.
It's a thick one.
Oh, yeah. Well, and if you go to Newfoundland, they just blend words together.
Oh, I love Newfies. I love drinking with Newfies. I love talking with Newfies, but you cannot understand them.
You almost have to learn another language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you yet? No, Jew. No, twirly?
Twirly.
Yeah. What did I just say? Did you eat yet?
Did you eat
No,
yet?
did you? No, it's too early.
No, it's too early.
Too early. Yeah. Yep. That's routine procedure for Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thinking about sports here,
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you want your daughter to get into?
Ideally soccer, because that's what I
that's what you know, right?
More.
You're comfortable.
Yeah. I don't think there's a specific sport I would say like you have to get into. I'd say whatever makes her happy. I will say whatever she gets into. If I don't know how to do it, I will learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Because I know one of the biggest difference between you and me is I'm not that big of a fan of baseball.
Right.
I know there might be some guys going, "Are you crazy? Baseball is the best game in the world." Get it? I understand. Especially those in America, it's the American sport, right? I just find it really slow. Unless you're there, and that's a different atmosphere. I've been to a Cubs game. Awesome. You gotta respect Wrigley Field.
Yes.
And just the history there. Now, I'm not saying that the very first Cubs game that I ever went to is the first World Series that they won in 108 years. And I'm not saying that has any correlation to do with me. However, it was
we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
All right.
You were there. It's not they're going to repeat the 108 years or whatever it was again. The fan base hopes not.
Yeah, absolutely, the fan base hopes
Yeah.
not. Yeah, having some friends in Chicago who are absolute Cubs fans, they definitely hope that they do not wait that long again.
No.
So again, I'm not saying there's any correlation to me being the very first Cubs game and then winning the World Series. But,
right.
However,
However,
2 + 2.
Well, that was a good trip for you, though. You went to a Cubs game and you went to a Blackhawks game, didn't you?
Yeah, during the playoffs.
During the playoffs.
Yeah, they played the Blues. Actually, I didn't realize how close St. Louis was to Chicago and how much of a rivalry there was.
It's all Central America, or not Central, but like
Central Time Zone.
Central Time Zone.
Yeah, and it's about 3 hours away from Chicago itself, if I understand correctly. And it's very, very. There's a big rivalry there. So the fact that they were seeing each other in the first round of the playoffs was a huge deal.
Well, and Chicago shit kicked them for a lot of years too.
Yes, they did. Chicago has a good team.
Yeah.
When you can have Patrick Kane on your team and he's not the captain, I think that says a lot.
I think that year they had Kane, Taves, Hossa,
yes,
Keith, Seabrook,
Sharp.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
When you got Versteeg as a third line player, right? Like And then you got Dustin Bufflin. You don't know if he's playing defense or forward, but
That's right.
He's
a
can
powerhouse.
play either way. Yeah.
So I don't think there's any specific sport I'd want Ava to play unless she's happy playing it. I know, and my wife and I joke about this quite a bit, is the athletic part of our family comes from my side, because her side is very smart. And I'm talking like chemical engineer smart and psychologist smart, like smart.
Academically
inclined.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So as I am not a psychologist nor am I a chemical engineer, I do find that a lot of my coordination and how I interact with even people come from sports. Yeah. So there's a lot of sacrifice, I think, that goes into another mosquito.
Yeah.
For those listening, that was Kevin slapping his hands because he found another mosquito and wanted to get him before the mosquito got Kevin.
You want to do others before they do unto you.
Yes. I think I will now call you Big Game Hunter.
I've been called worse.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything specific that I'd say like she has to get into, as long as she's playing a sport that she's happy with. I think that's key. And if it is something like baseball, I'll learn. I'll coach.
Yeah, our nephew was going to play baseball this year before all this pandemic started. Yeah. And so I was outside playing baseball with him, I don't know, a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the idea of it, but at that age, they don't really understand. Yeah. But
it's like us playing t-ball.
Right. Yeah. It's so his mom didn't help him either, though, because she said, "Put the glove in front of your face."
Don't do that. Oh, don't do that.
It's like, he's gonna get hit in the face.
Yep.
Well, no. What about the son? He's gonna get hit in the face with a ball. Is what it's gonna happen.
That's right.
No, that's why you just watch it go into your glove. He can't see it.
You tell she never played baseball either.
No. I just shook my head like, what? This poor kid is going to get hurt.
That's what we're there for.
Oh. I told him, I said, don't do that. Don't. Keep it at your chest. Put your other hand behind the catching hand.
Yeah.
Put your body in front.
That's right. Not your face, your body.
Oh.
It's like a goalie in hockey. You don't just put the stick in the way. You get your body behind in case it gets worse.
Get the whole body in there.
Yeah. So there was a website that we found about some of the benefits of kids playing sports, and I wonder what your thoughts are. It's on my phone here. So just give me a sec. I want to make sure we bring up the right topics here. So on this website, and I'll post the website in the description, because it's basically the Marine Corps Community Services website, which I just Googled it. It's the first thing I found. It says 5 reasons that your child should play sports. And one of the very first things it says is it boosts self-esteem. What are your thoughts?
Depends if you win or lose.
And how good you are.
Yeah,
I can definitely bring it down too.
Like you said, you've been the shittiest player on the ice. Right? But no, I do agree with that though. It builds your self-esteem, builds your confidence up. It's great for social skills.
I think it's necessary, to be honest.
Yeah, it keeps the kids out of danger or out of trouble too.
That's right.
But you gotta have balance, because before this whole COVID shit started, our only free night was Thursday.
Right.
We had something going every other day but Thursday night.
Right.
But then when this shit started, it's like, well, now what?
Now
we have no schedule.
Yeah.
There's no schedule.
Nope.
Right. So the kids like, Dad, what are we doing? I said, nothing.
I don't know.
Nothing. But they alternated nights, so it was more on me. So one of them had a Monday night, the other one had a Tuesday, and then a Wednesday, and then the first one had the Monday, had the Friday, and then they alternated nights. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, then on Saturday there was swimming.
There was swimming.
Hockey. Although that was for our nephew.
Yeah. So my day started out with my niece's sport ball.
Yes.
And then swimming lessons.
Yep.
hockey, and in the afternoon. And then Sunday was swimming lessons. I had hockey. And then my other daughter had soccer.
Soccer. Yep.
Yeah. So my weekends, they were done before they started. I had no weekends.
But I think that's the life of a dad.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I knew where I'd be. What are you doing this weekend? I'm busy.
Yeah. Every single day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Like I loved it.
You were trying to go fishing today because you had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Right? And even 3 or 4 months ago, fishing wasn't even an option.
No. Right?
No.
You and I had to plan like 2 or 3 weeks in advance before we went fishing.
That's right.
Can you go fishing next month? Let me just double check.
Check
schedules.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll try and book it off here.
See if I can get someone to take somebody to swimming or soccer.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird how things have turned.
Yeah. But I do miss the sports.
Me too. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. And I met some really cool parents at sporting events. I live in Airdrie, so it's a small town north of Calgary here, and it's a small town feel, which is nice.
Yeah, right.
There's some really nice parents out here.
Yeah, even though it's considered a city, it's still the small town feel.
Yeah.
So, because for those that don't know the area very well, Calgary is the main city in southern Alberta, and Calgary has well over 1 million people. I think the last number I heard was like 1.25 million or something like that. I mean, compared to most cities, like even you look at Toronto, Toronto has a lot more than that. Vancouver has a lot more than that, but Calgary has more than, say, Winnipeg, right? And Airdrie has 75,000?
70-something.
70-something thousand. So it kind of puts it into perspective that, yes, it is considered a city, but still quite a small town.
It's small. You could drive across the city in 10 minutes.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
Yes, you could. And it depends on how many lights you hit.
Right. If you catch all the green lights, no trains, it probably takes you about 5 or 4 minutes to get through. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so close to Calgary, it's easy.
Oh yeah, I can get to anywhere in Calgary faster than anybody, like in a community almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was about to say, as a parent, with a kid in sports, it's as much for the kids as it is the parents, because the parents get out, they get to socialize and stuff like that. Like, you cheer on every kid. You don't get mad at the kid, right? Yeah. So, hockey parents, I find, are the worst.
Oh. Yeah. But and it depends on the age group too, I think.
Everybody thinks their kid's going to the NHL.
That's right. That's right.
Every parent does. Yeah. But I know when we go and support our nephew, it doesn't matter even if it's their team gets scored on. We're like, yay! Good job. You cheer for every goal, no matter what team scores it. Yeah.
And at that age, that's nothing to do, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, but I agree. It is a sport. It's a social event for us as much as
it is.
Going to play soccer or hockey.
Or whatever. It's because you spend 6-7 months with these people 2 or 3, 4 times a week.
Well, and if you look at your schedule the way it was before COVID, you only had one event. If I remember your schedule the way you just said it a few minutes ago, you only had one event where you were actually playing. Yeah. Everything else is watching.
Yeah, that doesn't include my own sports. That doesn't include either one of my soccer teams or coaching or whatever. Like, that doesn't include my sports.
No, that's all them.
Kids. Yeah.
All them. Yeah.
And none of them are free either.
What?
No, I know.
Yeah. I wonder if that'd be a benefit of coaching. Like, if you actually got on as the basketball coach, would that reduce the price of basketball for you?
I don't think so, because the way they do it is if you give $100 at the beginning of the year as a check, and then you have to volunteer a certain amount of times like for a scorekeeper or clock runner or something like that.
I see.
Then if you reach that, to give you your $100 back. If you don't, then they just keep the $100.
I see.
Yeah. So there's no real break to be the coach.
Yeah. You're volunteering time or money.
Yeah, it just costs you $100 if you don't.
Right. No. I bet you it's because a lot of people say they would commit, And then when they realize that it actually takes time and effort, they actually step back and go, yeah, I don't think so.
Well, like I said, people drop their kids off and leave.
That's right, too.
Crazy. Right? Isn't it?
That's crazy to me.
So that's things I don't know their situations, but like a lot of them don't have one kid, right? So I don't know if there's sports happening other places, but
right. Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
fair.
you don't know their situation, but every week you're dropping them off.
yeah, it'd be one thing if it was here and there.
Right.
But every single session, no.
For practice and the game, well, a lot of them are pretty good at staying for games, but the practice is just drop and go.
Well, and if you look at our men's team, that's the same thing. Like our men's team don't want to practice; they only want to play.
Yeah.
How often do I struggle, or do we struggle to get 3-4 guys out?
Right.
And it's like pulling teeth because nobody actually wants to do the practice. They just want to go and show their skill.
Right.
Where do you get your skill?
They get mad when they lose.
That's right. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And then they blame somebody else. Oh, the ref didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
The ref made a fine call.
Who would want to be a ref nowadays?
Oh, especially
you got parents that are insane. Coaches.
Yeah. Well, you remember when we were repping, we actually had to put like tell some parents, like, pump the brakes.
Well, no, I've threatened to forfeit a game.
Yeah.
You have to. If you're going to keep that up, the game's over. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Your team loses.
Yeah. Well, and I remember being 12, and I looked at the lady, one lady in the stands who was just yelling at me. I said, "Do you want the whistle?"
Yeah.
She looked at me like, "What?" I'm like, "Do you want the whistle?" I mean, I'm 12. But I'm like, "Do you want the whistle?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Then let me call the game." And I went back to what I was doing.
Right.
I know refs aren't supposed to do that, but it was just constant.
Right. They don't stop.
No. So that's a problem, I think, and that's something that we can control. Is who we cheer for as parents and dads.
So as right now, to get your kid into hockey now, you have to sit through a weekend seminar on what you're allowed to do, what you're allowed to say, how you're supposed to treat the teams, the coaches, everything. You have to sit through a weekend seminar. Yeah.
As a parent.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's what my buddy Dean had to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he has a son who's been drafted in the WHL.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's coming up on his draft year right now. This next year is his draft year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Really good kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good dad by the sounds of it.
Yes. Yeah, he's a good dad.
You hesitated. You hesitated.
I was going to call him a name, but I decided I'll keep it to myself for
now. Wait until he's a guest and then say it?
Yeah, I'll keep that one in the chamber for later.
I love the hesitation.
Well.
But good kid. Really good kid.
Yeah, really good kid. The wife is amazing too.
There you go, Dad.
Kid and the mom are great.
That's where it lies right there. It's kid and the dad and the mom.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about a friend, right? He'll always say nice things behind your back, but talk shit to your face.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if they're doing the opposite, they're not your friend.
Yeah, that's how you know you got a buddy there.
Yeah. Oh, so true. So true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does say that it boosts the self-esteem. Another thing that it was mentioning, and again, it's just on my phone, is that it helps develop teamwork and leadership skills.
100% it does, yeah.
Yes, it does. Because when we talk about teamwork, I think we can link that into social skills. I think that's kind of one and the same.
Yep.
But leadership skills. What's interesting about that is since I was 15, I've been a leader in one way or another to this day. Whether it was coaching our sister's team, coaching a different team, or now coaching men's and co-ed.
Well, you and I coached a girls team, and we went pretty far, didn't we?
Yeah, we went to provincials.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which is basically the state champions for those in the U.S. And translate it from Canadian to American. And so we went pretty far.
Yeah, that's Fahrenheit for you guys.
That's right. That's right. Just Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Kilometers and miles.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So close, yet we speak two different languages almost.
Right.
But we went to the equivalent of the state championships. We went to provincials, and there were some different challenges there. I mean, we're walking in as pretty much brand new coaches, not really knowing what we're doing, and Amanda did teach us a lot.
It really did, yeah.
Yeah, even things like being punctual. I remember I was late for practice, and I had one of the dads come up, and he's like, "This is completely unacceptable." And I said, "Yeah, sorry, I was running a few minutes late." He goes, "As a coach, you don't run late." And I still remember that to this day.
And he's right, though.
He's right.
If you are 10 minutes early, you're 5 minutes late.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Daryl Sutter said that, and I'll never forget it.
Yes.
If you're 10 minutes early, you're already 5 minutes late.
That's right. That's right. Well, and for our soccer, even, we asked the guys to be there half an hour.
Yeah.
That way you're getting dressed, you're warmed up. You're not waiting till the game to actually get going. You're warming up beforehand. But it's amazing to me how many guys show up at game time. Now, understanding that work or other things like that may play a factor.
Life happens, but not every game.
Not every game.
No. Well, and I still do the same thing for my kids. Is we'll show up early.
Yep.
And just get ready, right? Warm up, stretch out. Like we just get there, we get ready. Yeah. Get your head in the game.
And that way you don't get injured either.
Right. You're ready to go.
Exactly. So,
one thing I have learned is basketball is bad on ankles. My daughter's already rolled her ankle. Like,
get out.
Oh yeah, she got weak ankles now. Just like her mother.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the one that had surgery on their ankles?
Oh, right. I broke my ankles in 2017. I broke my fibula.
October 2017. Yeah, you were out for a year.
Yeah, at least. I still am hesitant.
Yeah, it's in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to get pins in the whole bit. I remember taking me to the emergency room that night.
Like, oh, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the lady at the front desk said, "Oh, it's just a roll." I said, "I thought so too." My foot was all floppy.
Floppy. Yeah. Well, and I thought it was just an extremely bad sprain because you didn't.
Yeah.
You felt some pain, and I've heard. Now I've never broken a bone, but I've heard that if you break it, it actually hurts less than a sprain.
Well, I've broken a few bones, and this one hurt.
This one hurt, and that's because it hurt. I was like, "Oh, I think that means it's just a bad sprain because you hurt the muscle, not the bone." And then the next thing we know, they're saying, "Okay, so I think we're scheduling you for surgery on Tuesday."
Yeah. What? Well, that's the thing is because after the game, I'll just wait for you in the bar, and then we'll go after.
Yeah. And didn't think twice about it.
No.
Nope.
No. Some girl kicked me as she was leaving the bar.
Oh.
I was just sitting in the wheelchair. She hit my ankle. She's like, I was like, ha! I am fine.
Thank you. May I have another?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, the next thing we know, the doctor's saying, "Okay, we scheduled for a surgery on Tuesday." And we're like, surgery?
I had surgery on Halloween that year. I couldn't go trick-or-treating, which sucked.
Yeah, right.
First year I never went trick-or-treating.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't even get off the couch.
No, I anchored that couch down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the crutches are the worst. I couldn't put any weight on it at all for 8 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. And then I got a scooter.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then, so I was scooting down the wall one day and I got a bit of a speed wobble going. That scared the shit out of me.
If you fall, what are you going to do?
That's the thing is, if I fall, who's going to help?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not 130 pounds.
No, I'm not svelte. I'm not svelte.
We are very girthy gentlemen.
Yes.
Girthy, that's the word I'm going to use.
Full-figured.
You were saying dancing figure.
Yeah. So that was the first year I couldn't go trick-or-treating with the kids.
That's tough.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you want to try and keep up with them, one thing, but the fact that you couldn't even go out.
I couldn't. I was still doped up and in the hospital.
Right. Oh yes,
Yeah.
you had it that day. Right.
Yeah.
Man, that was so long ago. I forgot all that.
I know. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't forget.
No, I still remember taking you to the emergency room after the game, but I don't remember. I wasn't there for the surgery, so I didn't know all the parts. But
No.
yeah,
That was a long day.
Oof. Yeah. Well, and just gonna throw a little nugget out there. Surgery was completely free.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. I didn't pay for anything.
No.
No, they got me in 3 days. I didn't pay a cent.
That's crazy. Good for us.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're in the U.S. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah. So
this isn't a political stance. It's
so
just,
basketball.
basketball stuff. Yeah, no, and it does create teamwork and leadership skills. And like I said, even to this day, I am in a leadership position, and I have been since I was about 15. And it really does help you develop those leadership skills. And I think if you find the right coach, it will actually create the right leader. Yes, because it'll create the right leadership skills. Because I think we can agree there's wrong leadership skills.
Yeah. I had a piece of shit coach once, and then I also had a great coach and a guy named Marty Kennedy.
There you go.
Yeah, he has recently passed, but
yeah,
he was one of the best coaches and mentors I've had. But I've also had some really shitty coaches.
Well, and we didn't realize how good he was until we had the shitty coaches.
The Rolling Stones. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
So, yeah, it's been about a year since he passed, but that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a coach can make the world of difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a TED Talk that talks about how to build confidence, and he was actually suggesting and he related it to a soccer coach, and he went up to one person. I really like how you did this and this and this, and he said it so loud that the person who wasn't doing that heard it and wanted that accolation as well. So the next shift he went out, he actually started playing differently.
Nice.
So instead of berating and saying, "What are you doing?" Right? Like we've said already, some people tend to do. He actually went to the one who was doing right and said, "That is perfect, absolutely perfect. Keep doing that, and we're going to win this game."
Yeah.
And people were like, "I want that."
There's a difference. You can build them up or you can knock them down. It's up to the coach, right?
Absolutely. The next thing it says on this website is it's a natural stress reliever.
That's true.
I agree.
Yeah. You forget about everything that's going on and just your head's in the game.
That's it. Yeah. I know growing up having anxiety, I always felt 100 times better after a game. I was so anxious going into it, and I had so much adrenaline built up in my system and I just remember even driving home with Mom, I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, even after you get, even after we have soccer now, I can't go to bed when I get home.
No.
Right? My adrenaline's still pumping. I'm reliving the game in my head, what I should have done here, what could have happened there. I relive every play that I did.
Yep. Trying to make yourself better.
Yep. Yeah, I relive plays I did. I relive plays other guys did. Yeah.
Yeah. If we would have shot here instead of passing here, what would have happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the thing is, you and I will usually call each other after the game and decompress the game.
Yeah. Yeah, we will. We're both driving home, so we'll throw on the headset and say, "Okay, where did I fuck up? What could I have done better?
What could we have done better there?"
Yes. Even if we win, we have that same conversation.
It's the exact same every time, win or lose.
Yeah.
How can we get better?
Yeah. Which actually brings me to something I want to talk about as well, and I'm curious your thoughts on it because I know my own and I've heard what other people think about it. Nowadays, people get trophies just for showing up.
Yeah.
You get a ribbon just because you participated. Participation award.
I had this conversation with my kids the other day.
What'd you say?
I didn't like it. You have to learn how to lose.
And what does losing teach you?
There has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. It teaches you to work harder. I said, if you get a trophy just for showing up, what does that teach you?
Exactly.
It doesn't teach you to work harder. It doesn't teach you to want it more next time.
Nope.
You get the same trophy for just showing up as a person that tried hard.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And they understood it. They're like, oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if you explain it to like a 3 or 4-year-old, it's kind of hard to explain to them. But my kids are a good age to say there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser.
Well, that's why our
you
nephew, you cheer for everybody who scores.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Right? But for yours, being 8 and 10, they start to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like last year, we lost nationals at basketball.
Mm-hmm. That's tough.
Every person on the team cried. Every kid on the team cried.
Okay.
So, because they won silver.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
second place.
They didn't lose gold.
They won silver.
They won silver. Is the way they worded it, but
Okay.
they lost.
Right. Yeah.
And I said that. I said, you guys didn't win. You lost.
Yeah.
Right? You win gold and you win bronze. You lose for silver.
That's right. Yep. What could you learn from it?
Yep.
Yeah. Because if we relate sports to life, people want to just be given a promotion. They want to be given a raise. They want all these accolades because that's all they've ever been given. Here's your participation award. You got hired. Hey, here's a raise for being here. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Well, and I did ask Katrina, I said, did you have fun? She said, yeah, but losing doesn't feel very good. I said, nope, losing does not feel good.
Nope.
But you had fun with your team, and it was a really good season. We'll get them next year. Yeah, we'll try harder next year. So already we've been to the school shooting at the basketball net, just practicing.
Because she knows what it feels like to lose.
She didn't like that feeling.
No, and that's motivation to fix it.
Right?
Yeah, but these 8th-place trophies, as Gary Vee says.
Oh, yeah.
You're giving him an 8th-place trophy. Why?
Oh.
Yeah, love Gary Vee.
He spelt his name right. Yay!
But it's the losing that helps you with the succeeding.
Right.
And once you earn it.
So as a player, I don't like losing as much as I like. I hate losing more than I like winning.
You hate that feel of pain more than you like that feeling of pleasure.
Yeah, because after the win, it's like, hey, what's next?
That's right.
And after the loss, you're like, well, what should I have done better?
Right. It sits with you longer.
You remember the losses more than you remember the wins.
And it happens with kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So it's funny because after basketball, Katrina and I will compress the game, like what happened here, what happened, like same thing every time. Right?
Yeah.
We talk our way through the game.
Yeah. Well, the most successful athletes, be it Crosby or Messi or whoever you want to talk about, Michael Jordan, I've heard did this as well, always look towards the next championship. Yep. I think it was Michael Jordan who won a championship with Bulls, and when people came up and said, hey, how do you feel? He's like, okay, on to the next one.
Yeah, that might have been Kobe Bryant.
It could be both.
I'm not sure. Yeah, there could be both.
I don't know.
Yeah,
right? Because I think Kobe Bryant followed in Michael Jordan's footsteps.
Yeah.
So it could be both, but I think
that's the thing, right? Is you look forward to the next one. This one's already run. Like you've already you're done.
That's right.
Right. The ultimate. What have you done for me lately?
Right. Yeah. What's in it for me?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. But again, if you lose, it's like, you're very close.
Right.
What could we have? Maybe if I made that shot.
You tried just as hard as the other team, would feel a lot shittier.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and here's something to keep in mind as well. And I think this is something that a lot of teams do, whether you're professional or kids. A lot of teams play not to lose.
Yeah.
Instead of play to win.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the way the coach too, right? They're afraid of mistakes in the back end. Right.
That's right. And it could be because that's the way we're taught. I don't know. But I think it's up to a coach, and this is where a good coach makes all the difference, to point it out and say, if we want to win, we have to keep the pressure up.
Yeah.
Right?
You got to score to win.
I heard a stat that 20% of all football game points are scored within the last 20 seconds of the game.
Really?
Or the last 2 minutes or something like that. Because it's pressure. I got to win now.
Yeah.
I got to get the ball in the end zone. Or got to
Yeah.
make that field goal. And there's no real push before that because everybody's like, yeah, I got time. Okay, it didn't work this time.
Right.
But once you're within the last 2
down.
minutes, especially the first half, absolutely. But once you're within the last 2 minutes, it's I gotta go. And the team that's up sits back and goes, okay, as long as we can maintain this pressure, we got this, right? But how many games do you see where games turn around within the last minute because the team sat back?
Yeah, it happens a lot.
It does. It does. So I think it's important for us as coaches, as dads, to point that out as well. Like, don't just sit back and wait to lose. Go out there and fight to win. Because again, what happens in sports, I believe, fully happens in life.
Yeah. Well, I won't read it, or I won't say verbatim, but there's a really good Bruce Boudreau speech. If you haven't heard it, I suggest you listen to it. But a lot of it's just, if you don't just think you want it, fucking go out and get it. But it's a great speech. You gotta listen to it if you've never heard it.
For those that don't know, who is he?
Oh, he's a hockey coach. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah. NHL hockey coach.
Yeah. Just in case you're wondering where to find it.
Yeah. Certain YouTube, it is hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's good life lesson.
Yeah. And if you can handle the swearing in this podcast, you can handle the swearing in this speech.
Yes. Yeah.
We swear here and there a little bit. The other thing it says on the website is something we've kind of already talked about: lifelong healthy lifestyle habits.
Yeah.
Kids develop lifelong healthy lifestyle habits. That's a bit of a tongue twister, that one.
That is, yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you're into sports and you're working out.
Yes. Yeah. You try and maintain, right?
That's right. Yeah.
You don't want to be the slowest guy out there.
No.
Right?
No. And we had a soccer practice this week, and it's the first time that I went running that hard for 3 or 4 months.
Right.
And I mean, I'm chasing a toddler, so I guess that's exercise in itself. But it's interesting because I got on the field and I started running, and I was like, man, I thought I'd be more tired than this. But I actually was able to keep my energy up and keep up with the play and everything else. Mind you, they were a little slow too. They hadn't been running for 4 months either.
Everybody's been off for, yeah.
However, half glass, half full. Glass is half full here. So
glass half full.
Yeah. So it's I was looking at it going, actually, not only am I keeping up, okay, I'm setting up some plays. Here we go. It's good to get a kick on the ball, get moving around a bit. So
nice. It
was good to get out. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much the last thing it said is the fifth one that we've already talked about is it's fun to play sports.
That's why you do it, right? Because it's fun.
That's it. It's weird when it turns though.
There's a flip that switches when you get competitive.
Yes. Right? And I think politics too. If politics get in the middle of it, nobody's got time for that.
No, there's a lot of politics in youth sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ton of politics in youth sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, too much.
Yes.
Yeah, it's meant to be fun. Let's go and have some fun.
It doesn't matter what you know, it's who you know in a lot of situations.
But again, that's life.
Right? That's a big life lesson. Work harder and you will be seen.
Yeah. Well, and not only that too, but I've heard a lot of times if it's a position that somebody wanted and another person got it, I've heard that person say that exact thing. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And I agree, but I follow it up with who are you introducing yourself to? Right. Like they had there was a point where that person didn't know the person who's doing the hiring. They went up and said, hi, my name is so-and-so. Now they know you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. I got into the position I was in before the whole COVID thing. It took me 3 years to get to where I was, but I went in and I actually really got to know the manager and the person doing the hiring. I actually took time out of my schedule to go and meet them, go and sit in and learn what they do. So when it came to hiring, I wasn't just a name on a sheet of paper with a resume.
Right.
They knew who I was.
Face.
Yeah. So again, it's interesting that you say that. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I absolutely agree. But again, I follow it up. Who are you introducing yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Because again, sports leads you into life. Yeah. All right. Well, we're running into about an hour here. And unless there's anything else that you can think of that you want to mention, I think now's a good time to wrap it up. I think it's a good conversation. We kind of went all over the place here, but
I will say, be easy on your kids. They are trying.
Mm-hmm. And all they want is for you to be there.
They just want to watch. They want you to watch. So make sure you're watching. That's about it.
That's it.
Go easy on them if you're a bit of a D-bag.
How about just not being a D-bag?
Right? What's that?
Just, toss it out there. Just don't be a D-bag.
Just throwing a softball out there.
See, sports analogy. That's what we do.
Yeah. No, your kids are trying. Go a little easier on them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good. Well, thank you everybody for paying attention and listening to this podcast. I hope you got something from it. Again, if you want to get a hold of us, you're welcome to join our new Facebook group, the Dual Dads Podcast group. Just search Dual Dads Podcast and you should be able to find it there. I'll put a link in the description below as well, so you're welcome to join there. It's a really good way to contact us directly. And if you have any questions or you want to be a guest, it's another good way to get a hold of us. We also have an email, dualdadspodcast024@gmail.com, if you want to get a hold of us that way. And we'll do this again next week, episode number 6.
Yeah. Sounds great.
See if we can get another guest on here.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right. I'll talk to you on the next one.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Dads.